Hi, all of my first graders. Welcome to today's lesson. I am so excited. It's going to be super fun. Make sure you guys all have your cameras on so I can see all of your guys' little faces and you guys can help along with the lesson by holding up some numbers and all that fun stuff. Okay, so today we are going to be learning about place value. And we're going to be doing that by using base 10 blocks, which I know you guys use those in kindergarten a little bit. So now we're going to talk about them again in first grade, but we're going to take it to the next step a little bit. So get excited. Okay, so let's get started. Please make sure you go grab your math book if you haven't already. And then also while you're up running, grabbing your stuff, make sure you go grab a writing utensil. Make sure it's like a pencil, or if you want to use a whiteboard, you're more than willing to do that, but grab your expo marker to go with it. And then also, if you're going to be using a pencil, make sure you go and grab your notebook so you can write down some notes and just write just the notes so you can go back and look at it to make sure you understood everything correctly. Okay, so let's talk about the digits that we all know already and we love. We use them all the time when we're counting, doing fun stuff with numbers. So I know that you guys know them, so why don't you guys count them with me? Ready? You can even hold up your fingers if you want. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Good job, everybody. I saw everyone's fingers moving. Good job. Okay, so we use these numbers, like I said before, to count, but we can actually combine them together and make really big numbers or really small numbers. And all those different numbers have different place values. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. So what are the 4 place values? There's 4 main ones, but we're only going to be talking about 3 of them today. So don't worry about the biggest one. All right, so the first one is the ones place value. And this is the littlest one. So this is a 1-digit number, only 1 digit. Now this, guys, would be a great time to write your notes in your notebook or on your whiteboard so you can remember this because this is very important. And one, since it's the littlest, you want to start with that. So you want to put that at the top of your paper, and maybe you can even write littlest next to it or little. So you know that this is the little one. Our next one, we're getting a little bit bigger, is the tens place value. And this one is bigger than the ones value because it has 2 digits. That is a 2-digit number. And the ones was a, who can say it, 1-digit number. So the ones has 1 digit and the tens has 2 digits. All right, let's go to the next one. This one's getting bigger. Okay, the hundreds place value. So this one, who can guess it? How many digits would it have? Yep, it would have 3 digits. That's bigger than the tens and ones, isn't it? Yeah. So how many does the ones have? 1 digit. And the tens has 2 digits. And the hundreds, 3 digits. Good job, everyone. Okay, so these are the 3 we're going to be focusing on today, but there is one more. It's really big. So let's talk about it. This is the thousands place value. Oh my goodness. So guess how many digits it has? Yeah, 4 digits. There's 4 in this one. And this is the biggest one. So next to this one on your notes, maybe you can put big or biggest. And then you can put that it has 4 digits in the number. So let's practice this a little bit. Let's find the numbers and their place values. Okay, so we're going to do them together. Okay, so you can look back in your notes and we're going to talk about how many digits each number has and what their place value is. So let's start with the first one, which is 2. How many digits does that have, guys? 1 digit. Yes, very good. So what would that be for place value? What place value would that be? The 1's place value. Very good, everyone, because it only has 1 digit. Okay, our next number getting bigger, 75. And that has how many digits? 2 digits. Yes, good job, guys. So that one has 2 digits. And do we remember what place value has 2 digits in it? The 10s. Good job, guys. Yes, so the first one, 2, was 1 digit. So that is the 1's place value. And the next one is 75, which has 2 digits, which means it's the 10's place value. The next number, look, it has the same amount of digits as 75. So it's 57. It has 2 digits. What does that mean, class? What place value is it? 57 is in the 10's place value. Good job, guys. Okay, the next one's getting bigger. 203. This has 3 digits in it, guys. So what place value would that be? Yes, the hundreds place value. Good job, guys. Okay, and the bottom 4, we're going to do together another time. Or if you want to write them down in your notebook, you can do them on your own time and bring them back to class, and then we can discuss them together. And they shouldn't be too hard since we did the first 4 together. You just got to remember the digits. How many digits? Okay, so let's talk about the base 10 blocks now. So like I said, there's 4 main blocks, just like there's 4 place values. But like I said with place values, we're only going to mention 3 of them today. So just like that, we're only going to mention 3 of the blocks today. Okay, guys, this would be another great opportunity to write some notes down in your notebook. This is very important information, and you can definitely use it again. Let's start with our littlest one. What was our littlest place value, guys? What was our littlest one? Yep, if you said 1s, you're correct. So that is our units blocks. Those are the little red ones, the little tiny cubes. Those are our 1's place value, and they represent 1 digit. So our next one is the 10's place value, just like we talked about, and it has 2 digits. And these blocks are the green ones, and they're called longs. So the units, the red ones, are the little tiny blocks, and they are our 1's place value. And our longs, the green ones, those are our 10's place value. Those are our longs. So the next one, like we talked about, what was the next one after 10's? Who can remember? The hundreds place value. Good job, guys. So that is called our flats. And that is the hundreds place value. So that's the blue ones up there. So we see that they're bigger than the longs and the units, which is our 10's and 1's places. So that means that it's a bigger number, which means it has 3 digits, just like we talked about. And then like we talked about with thousands place value, which we're not going to mention today, we're not going to work with, but we're just going to go over it so you guys have the notes already. And that's called our cartons. That's called our thousands place value, if you guys remember that. And that's our big yellow box right in the corner. That's our big one. That means it's big. It has 4 digits. That's the biggest one we have. Okay, now let's use these. Let's try to find the place value with the blocks for these numbers. Now, these are the same numbers that we used before, so they shouldn't be too hard. We already went over the first 4. So the first one is 2, and we already said that has 1 digit. So we know that if we flip back, this is why you got to take notes on this. We know that's our units blocks because it's the 1's place value, and it's the red ones, the littlest ones. So next, we had the 75. And like we said earlier, that had 2 digits, which meant that it was the 10's place value, which who remembers what blocks we used for the tens place value? That's right, we used the longs, we used the green ones. Yes, good job, guys. Okay, for the next one, we already talked about earlier that 75 and 57 both have 2 digits, which means they use the same blocks. So which place value in blocks would it be, everyone? Yep, it'd be the tens place value and the longs, which were our green blocks. Okay, so last one. This one's kind of tricky. 203. We already said it has 3 digits. So that means that it is the flats. Good job, guys. The blue blocks. That is our biggest one that we're going to talk about today. That's the hundreds place. All right. And this is a chart. We're not going to worry about it too much right now. We're going to post it maybe in the classroom and you guys can just look at it and just see the place values again in case you guys forget or anything like that. And it's going to be really helpful for us. Okay, so what are we going to talk about in the future to go along with these place values that we just learned about? We're going to talk about rolling zeros, which is mainly about decimals. So that's not in for a long time. You guys don't have to worry about that yet. And we're also going to talk about regrouping, which is really important. So that's when we switch place values and when we switch place values and we move up to the next one. But we'll talk about that later. Thank you all for being such great listeners and learners today. You guys did awesome and participated so much. And the next time I see you guys in class, we're going to be talking and actually touching the blocks that we just learned about. So that will be super fun. And we're going to learn so much more about place value. All right, everybody. Can't wait to see you guys in class. Goodbye.